Inside your skull, an invisible concert is always playing. Every thought, every emotion, every flash of memory is a note in a vast electric symphony. Neurons fire in rhythm, creating waves of light that form the soundtrack of your mind. Your brain hums constantly, alive with vibration and frequency. Now imagine introducing a new conductor, classical music. Each melody becomes instruction, each harmony a map for your neurons to follow. With every listen, your brain doesn't just receive sound, it reorganizes itself around it. This is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire, reshape, and renew itself through experience. And classical music is one of the most powerful teachers it has ever known. When you press play on Mozart or Bach, your brain lights up like a concert hall. The prefrontal cortex handles logic and focus, the hippocampus stores memory, and the cerebellum keeps rhythm and coordination. These regions begin to synchronize, communicating across neural highways with greater efficiency. It's like a well-rehearsed orchestra, each section playing in perfect time. Neuroscientists discovered that this synchronization improves problem-solving, memory, and spatial reasoning. Music doesn't just affect emotion, it organizes thought. It teaches the brain to operate in structured harmony. Decades ago, scientists called this the Mozart effect. While many thought it was a myth, modern imaging proves otherwise. Structured classical compositions mirror the natural timing circuits of the brain, improving cognitive performance. The steady rhythm, mathematical phrasing, and balanced melody literally train your neurons to think in patterns. Over time, your brain becomes more efficient at recognizing structure, solving problems, and maintaining focus. It's not just sound, it's neural architecture in motion, a kind of mental mathematics written in vibration. But classical music doesn't only sharpen logic, it also speaks to emotion. Every tremble of a violin, every deep sigh of a cello sends signals to your limbic system, the emotional center of your brain. The amygdala and hypothalamus translate vibration into feeling, releasing dopamine and serotonin, your natural mood regulators. This is why a melody can move you to tears, or why a single chord can evoke peace, nostalgia, or hope. Music is chemical communication. It doesn't use words, yet it speaks the language of emotion fluently. Each note becomes a dialogue between your mind and heart. The hippocampus, your memory hub, also thrives on this experience. Classical compositions often repeat patterns, evolve themes, and resolve tensions, exactly how memory works. The brain encodes repetition as importance. When you listen repeatedly to a symphony or replay melodies in your head, you strengthen neural pathways responsible for recall and attention. Each listen is like mental exercise. You're reinforcing the same circuits that help you remember names, faces, and ideas. Music becomes a gentle yet powerful cognitive training tool. And then there's creativity, the meeting point of discipline and freedom. Classical music activates both hemispheres of the brain. The left side processes structure and order, while the right side explores imagination and emotional tone. This cross-communication encourages innovation. When both hemispheres fire together, the brain enters a state of integrated thinking, logical yet visionary. That's why listening to Bach or Debussy can spark ideas, clarity, and problem-solving. Each crescendo becomes a push toward creativity, each pause a breath of intuition. Slow-tempo classical pieces, especially those around 60 beats per minute, mirror the resting rhythm of the human heart. When your body hears that tempo, it naturally begins to synchronize, a phenomenon known as entrainment. This alignment lowers cortisol, slows breathing, and increases alpha brainwave activity, the frequency of calm, focused awareness. That's why classical music enhances study sessions, meditation, and relaxation. It doesn't demand attention, it anchors it. Over time, your brain learns to associate these sounds with mental stillness and clarity. Repeated listening is where the real rewiring happens. Every time you expose your mind to classical structure, your neurons reinforce pathways for balance and attention. fMRI studies show that consistent listeners develop thicker white matter connections in auditory and executive areas, physical evidence of training. Each composition becomes a rehearsal in patience, balance, and emotional regulation. You're not just consuming art, you're practicing coherence. Beyond intelligence lies serenity, the deeper layer of what classical music gives. It's not just about sharper focus or better memory. It's about peace. When you listen, your breathing slows, your heartbeat steadies, and your nervous system begins to rest. Alpha and theta brainwaves rise, guiding you into a meditative state where healing and learning unfold naturally. This is the same brain state achieved through deep meditation. Calm yet awake, silent yet alive. In this space, music becomes more than therapy. It becomes transcendence. Your brain is always listening. Even in silence, it anticipates sound. Each note you hear writes a possibility inside you, shaping thought and emotion in real time. When you choose harmony, your mind learns harmony. When you feed it order, it becomes ordered. Classical music is the art of mental alignment, a bridge between emotion and intelligence, chaos and clarity. Every symphony is a meditation, every melody a mirror of what your mind can become, structured, balanced, and deeply alive. Make listening a ritual. Let Mozart guide your focus. Let Bach tune your memory. Let Beethoven awaken your passion. Allow sound to shape silence within you. This is not just listening. This is inner architecture. You are building yourself with every note. And over time, you will notice. Clarity deepens, emotion softens, and peace expands. You will feel more centered, more aware, more human. Because music doesn't only pass through your ears, it writes itself into your brain, your chemistry, your soul. If this message resonates with you, make this your daily meditation. Let classical music be your companion on the journey toward focus and calm. With every listen, you're not just hearing harmony, you're becoming it. Violin every day, one symphony at a time, you can rewire your mind into art.